Sir, how do you tackle Belgam issue as a DM? If you have made a DM of Belgam?
DM, see, first of all, sir, I would control the violence. Then, sir, I would also restrain the social media and the fake news and propaganda being spread because it is more of political than of cultural. Thirdly, sir, I would try to restore the connectivity. If the buses are not running, sir, I would talk to the leaders and let the buses run. Otherwise, sir, there are always private vehicles and there are trains. That's it, sir. So, Dr. Sachin, very good morning. How are you doing?
Very good morning, sir. I'm doing good, sir. Uh,
Okay, doctor, why
had
do
my
you
break.
want to become an IAS officer? We think that you are overqualified because you are a doctor. Why civil services?
Sir, I don't think it has a diversion from getting into from being a doctor. In fact, I believe civil service is sort of being a social doctor, like catering to larger society and having a better impact. And also, I am a person who likes diversity of activities. So, civil service exactly provides that, and it's one of the most privileged career opportunity in the country. Um, and
Fine.
it just
When did you see your last patient?
Sir, actually, I saw my last patient during COVID time through telemedicine when I volunteered for a step one organization. And after that, I haven't taken any formal employment.
Okay, you haven't taken any formal employment. Have you ever recommended organ donation to your patients?
Uh, Sir, I was involved in surgeries as a team where we uh, insisted patients to go for organ donation if there is any casualty in the after the operation. But I myself individually haven't taken the lead in uh, going for in prescribing organ donations.
Do you think that is necessary? And you have done a little bit of, you've gone away from your moral responsibility. Do you feel that, doctor? When you've not prescribed any organ donation drive to anyone or organ donation to any of your patients, do you think that you have given up your moral responsibility in pursuit of doing so?
Sir, in our actually when I worked in the hospital, I was considered as an intern, and there was hierarchical structure to it. Like there were senior residents, there were PGs, and senior doctors who used to take the lead in prescribing. I was there more as an assistant there, so I did not had any uh, legal authority to prescribe organ donation thing. But as you said, the morally, I do believe that. We need to be even I think we need to be more aware about these factors like organ donation and all to better propagate it better, sir. Like uh, I unfortunately didn't do that.
Yeah, so in the interview, you say, sir, thank you so much for this wonderful suggestion. I would definitely do it in future. I'll even have a play card in my office when I become the DM. You say this, even if you don't want to, but you still say this. Oh, okay. We often talk about electoral literacy, we often talk about financial literacy and all those things, digital literacy. But do you think India also lacks medical literacy or health literacy?
So that's definitely a great point. Actually, I do believe that there is a lot of asymmetric information between doctors and patients, and commoners are also very not well versed with the basic health aspects regarding the public hygiene or even the nutritional aspects, which could have helped us prevent the non-communicable diseases better.
Hmm.
So I do believe there's a scope to improve medical literacy at the national level, sir.
How did you deal with vaccine hesitancy during your COVID times?
So, fortunately, the patients that came to my under my uh, jurisdiction and
Surveillance.
surveillance didn't show any hesitancy per se. But from what I have heard from my anecdotal experiences, like if we can give them the reasoning and if we can showcase them that me as a doctor is also taking a vaccine, setting that exemplary notion, I think they were convinced more or less.
So, did you ever promote hand hygiene?
Yes, sir. That was one of the crucial factor during COVID prevention. As a doctors, we used to always have that board where hand washing protocol was displayed, and patients were made to follow that. So,
Can you just take 30 seconds to demonstrate the same? Let's say this is a press conference of the government of Karnataka, and people are not aware of the hand hygiene. So, can you do it for us for 30 seconds or 20 seconds? This is a short play. Yeah, try to do it. We'll make you act also in civil services.
um, sir, I think it goes with first the palm to palm, and then the other skin to the palm, and like both for both the hands,
Hmm.
and then we have to clean in between the fingers, and also we clean ourselves from forearm to the wrist, and
Hmm.
then again we wash throat, and
You
I
can
think
use
that's
your mother tongue also because this is a local Kannada population. So try to enact it in mother tongue also. If he says
okay.
that you are the DM of Karnataka, then it is a brownie point for you. He wants you to do it in the mother tongue. All
Okay,
right.
sir.
Does Karnataka have any son of soils policy?
Sir, there are certain legal provisions which can be considered as son of soil policy. Otherwise, there is no formal son of soil policy per se. For example, there is uh, Comprehensive Language Development Act of Karnataka, 2015, which mandates Kannada to be used as medium of instruction across schools. That can be considered as a son of soil policy. And also, recently we had this 60% signage board should be in Kannada. So these all indicates towards son of soil policy, sir.
So, doctor, we recently saw that out of Ukraine, many doctors came to India, the Indian students who had to go abroad. So, what was the reason? Why do the Indian doctors go to Ukraine or China or the other Central Asian republics to pursue their medical degrees? Very simple.
Sir, it primarily arises because of the lack of adequate number of medical seats present in the country, according to the demand that we have in the nation. And secondly, the medical education is costlier, especially for the rural and lower socioeconomic group of people. And this makes them go for alternatives which provides them easy access, and also it sorts of avoids competition at the national level. So like people who are getting lesser ranks are also reaching out to different countries to get to fulfill their dreams.
Do you think that there are challenges to those doctors who return to India even after completion of their degree? Challenges to them in practicing medical profession here in India?
Yes, so challenges do exist because Medical Council of India prescribes a entrance test for them, through which they have to qualify to showcase their skills, and then only they are allowed to practice in the country.
Hmm.
And also for them, it becomes challenge to adapt to Indian circumstances and Indian local factors, socio-economic factors.
Dr. Sachin, how will you bring down the cost of medical education in India? I think this is the most serious issue because the common man cannot become a doctor. It has become an elitist profession. Else, you have to be very, very brilliant, and there are very few free seats. This is what I have learned from my experience. So, how would you tackle this? Let's say you are the health secretary of India. Now, the ball is in your court, and you have all the resources at your disposal. Give me three concrete steps which you would take on the ground. Concrete steps on ground. Think before it, structure it, prioritize them, and answer them after even after 2 minutes. Take your time. I want three concrete steps as the health secretary of India. It's the biggest post in India that I'm giving you.
So one thing is, as recently there was a decision taken by even the Honorable Finance Minister. The government of India is looking at increasing medical seats by 10,000 per annum annually, and to reach a target of 75,000 by 5 years. I think that's a very good step in the first place, and we can go ahead with that and expand on it to increase the number of medical seats available to the students. And secondly, sir, I think we can have a multi-stakeholder policy of price regulation where we can put a price cap to private medical institutions uh, in demand in medical price cap to the medical private medical institutions to in their courses, sir, because the disparity is higher with private institutions than public medical colleges. And thirdly, sir, I think we can also make use of the already existing district level healthcare system so that the cost of setting up a new medical college becomes lesser, so that we can directly use the resources which are already there in the district level hospitals, which can act as which can provide that clinical support to the medical institutes, medical colleges.
Hmm. Is Ayush propagating pseudoscience? Many doctors have said this in their articles and on their TV channels and in the reels that they are not prescribing Ayush. And recently there was a controversy regarding preventive medicine or prevention of cancer with respect to Navjot Singh Sidhu's wife as well. He's a politician and a former cricketer, and he said that allopathy hasn't helped him much with cancer, and all the other things have helped him. So, what do you think? Should we do away with Ayush, or we should reform Ayush, or we should mix allopathy and Ayush, or we should compartmentalize them? What is the overall view, bird's eye view for you with respect to Ayush?
Sir, I don't agree that Ayush can be called a pseudoscience in the first place, because I do see a lot of merit in Ayush as a discipline. For example, Ayurveda, deals with human body holistically.
Hmm.
And in my own experience, have seen that the diet structure that is prescribed by Ayush, the Ayurvedic doctors, is uh, is well aligning with modern day nutritional prescriptions too. And also, sir, Ayush as a discipline is also good at handling certain diseases which are which takes a long-term treatment in our allopathy. For example, the skincare-based diseases and also the lifestyle-based diseases can also be handled through integration of Ayush, through naturopathy and through Ayurveda, etc.
Very good. Excellent. So recently, one of the directors of IIT Madras or one of the senior professors, he was prescribing Gomutra as a recipe for irritable bowel syndrome and his stomach ache and stomach ailments and all that. So do you think that, Gomutra is a good remedy for all those ailments? Have you ever prescribed Gomutra to your patients?
Definitely not, sir. We are not allowed to prescribe such things. And sir, regarding prescription of Gomutra, I think there are a lot of scientific studies which shows that the benefits of Gomutra it's not basically scientifically proven, sir. So I think I have to read more on this. I have lesser idea on
Yeah,
the
professor,
advantages of Gomutra.
the professor of IIT Madras seems to be more enlightened than you, doctor. Anyways, okay, okay. So, GM crops or food fortification? What is your take?
Sir, I think food fortification is better compared to GM crops, because in GM crops we have a lot of unanticipated environmental consequences which can happen. Whereas in food fortification, we are combining the certain nutrients or minerals which we require to the regular diet that we consume. So I think that is a safer option than GM crops.
Okay, so two benefits, two challenges. Two benefits, two challenges. GM and food fortification. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
First of all, two
Sir,
benefits of GM, then two challenges
right,
of
sir.
GM. Yes, please go ahead.
So benefits of GM is one, it can help tackle uh, any, for example, it can improve the shelf life of a crop, for example, any vegetables and all that. And it also can, uh, uh,
It can produce drought resistance varieties. Simple.
Yes,
These are two
sir. Like,
benefits,
yeah,
not two
right, sir.
challenges. Yes.
And challenges wise, one, that's what it can have an impact on genetic blueprint of humans. It can
Very good.
interfere with the genetic blueprint of the
We
humans.
don't know yet because it's a new technology. We
Yes,
don't
sir.
know in the longer run how will it react. Will it bring some
Right, sir.
invasive species or and you the second challenge, if you can recall, or else I'll tell you.
So the second challenge is it makes the farmers dependent on the multinational companies
Yes,
for
Monsanto. Yes, hybrid seeds and pink
yes, sir.
bollworm cotton or GM cotton is not doing well. Very.
Yes, sir.
Now, food fortification, two benefits and two challenges.
Sir, with food fortification, I think one, the preventive aspect of it is much better. For example, using iodinized salt can help us
Mm,
tackle thyroid issues. And
mm.
second, sir, food fortification can also be integrated into our already existing PDS system to cater to mass population.
Very good.
And
Two
and
challenges.
negative wise, sir, I think food fortification. I think it's not possible to have to integrate all nutrients with the diet that we have. There are certain requirements. For example, we can't. Iodine can only be integrated with salt, but not with any other food item per se. Uh,
Mm. No,
and
overdosage also, and then all those,
yes, sir.
वो सारी चीजें तुम बोल सकते हो. And then we are not sure that the nutrients which are being added are of good quality. Are they actually targeting it, and all those things? Just as
Right,
uh, even in the fertilizers, we've had the disturbed ratios of 8:4:1 instead of
right, sir.
4:2.5:1. So all these issues will arise when we go for food fortification. However, it can target a specific audience or it can target a specific consumer base. ये आप बोलोगे. So now I'll put you in a situation, Dr. Sachin. There is a patient who is poor, economically weaker, and you are administering him for some medicines. Now you know that there are reports of a generic medicine not being at its best, and there are issues with the efficacy of that medicine, and there may be some side effects also. And otherwise, if you prescribe the branded medicine, it is very, very costly. The patient cannot afford it. So what will you do? So generic versus branded. This is the question. And I've put you as a
Right, sir.
state. Very simple. Ethics GS paper 4.
Sir, I think first I have to see which disease that the patient is suffering from, because there are for certain diseases like TB or for even any communicable disease, some communicable diseases like malaria, dengue, etc. We do have a national program, sir. So I
Hmm.
think as a doctor administrator, I can make use of such already existing national programs to provide for quality medicines, because
Hmm.
these programs are mandated to provide such quality medicines apart from Jan Arogya Kendras. For
Hmm.
example, TB, we give that under DOTS regime, we are supposed to
Hmm.
give 6 months treat medicines to patients. So one is
Hmm.
that, sir. But secondly, if such medicines are not covered or such diseases are not covered under the national program, I will, in my individual capacity, I will try to associate with already existing NGOs or any civil society organizations or any CSR funds to to make it more accessible for him the quality medicines. Uh, and
And you even say that many of the brands, they give us free samples for testing. They give you free samples. One of the
but it's not a
doctors.
long-term solution, no, sir.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
not
a
a sustainable
long-term
solution.
solution. I understand it's not a long-term solution, but one of the doctors said this. He said this, and
Okay.
then he said, "Sir, I would have him covered under the insurance policy. There are some jana. I mean, you know it better. I don't know
Right,
them.
sir.
So you though.
Right, sir.
So make use of health insurance or Jan Aushadhi Kendra or whatever." And he said, "Sir, more than 90% of the medicines are actually available on the Jan Aushadhi Kendras, and they are all tested and tried and they are all certified by the government of the day, and no doctor has any harm in prescribing them." This is the
Okay.
very generic answer, very Straightforward answer. What was the issue with the FDCs, fixed dose combinations?
So I have to read about it. It's
And
been
there
a
was a
while that I've
controversy.
read.
Yeah, there was a huge controversy, and many of them have been banned in India. So do read about them. Generic medicine, very, very important. FDC is very, very. Do you think that Indians have an issue in their islets of Langerhans?
Sir, India as a population is more. We have a gene. I'm not exactly remembering the name of the gene, but which makes us more susceptible to such uh, non-communicable diseases. Like we are more vulnerable to diabetes, hypertension, and with respect to what you are referring, the islet of Langerhans, it's a cell in the pancreatic gland. Sir. So, in Indians do have. Uh,
Yeah,
Basically they are more prone to metabolic syndrome kind of situation where
read about it because
yes sir, I
diabetes
will
for
read.
every doctor is being asked a question. Because India
Okay,
is the diabetes capital of the world, and
capital.
every doctor, and what will you do? Diabetes mellitus type 1 type 2, that you are a doctor, but you are out of touch, you are not in practice, so just read about it. And one of my students of anthropology who is a doctor, he is from Maharashtra, he also gave me a genetic factor, so that anthropologically also there are some genes found in the Asians and specifically in the Indians. Now they have been modified with time or so, and yes, we are definitely susceptible to this. So we read this, है ना? Make notes from this video after this class. So my next question, doctor, is what were the challenges? Yeah, what were the apprehensions by India in the AI summit, recent AI summit?
Right, sir. So recently India co-chaired the AI Action Summit, which was chaired by France, and India stand in that summit was regarding having inclusive AI developed, sir, because we see that
Hmm.
there is lack of representation of global south in
Hmm.
AI models, which are more European centric or Western centric. And also, India made a point for sustainable AI development. Also, it raised concerns with respect to environment. And also, India.
You just read about it and jot down 3 points. That's it.
Yes, sir.
3 crisp points, and Sachin, you are already done. And same question goes for COP29. India's concerns at COP29. Way forward, you have to do it. Are you aware what Indian demands were at COP29? Azerbaijan, Baku.
Sir, India's primary concern was as COP29 was considered as finance COP, we were also party to the demand for 1.3 trillion a year by 2030. But unfortunately, it was not agreed to by developed nations.
Hmm.
So India spoke against that.
ठीक है. What were your experiences in the cultural committee? Why were you chosen as the president? Two questions I have.
Right, sir.
First, why were you chosen as the president? Second, cultural committee, what did you learn from there or experiences?
Right, sir. So I was chosen as a president of cultural committee. It was more of it was a decision made under that junior doctor association by my other colleagues, and so there was no voting process per se. It was a selection process. So I was selected. And then secondly, sir, with respect to the activities under cultural committee, since our medical college was a place where we had students from multiple places, from faraway places, like there were North Indian students, South Indian students, Keralites, and also from Malaysia. So we needed a cultural committee to better harmonize the relationship, and also to better uh, to give them the ease of communication. For example, they operating at district hospitals, they needed to learn Kannada as a language. So there were some Kannada classes taken by the cultural committee, and also we used to conduct a lot of cultural programs, so that we as students are aware about each other's cultures.
How is the government tackling the violence against doctors? We've heard that there were many instances of violence.
Right, sir. So government, even in its new criminal laws, for example, Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, there are provisions which punishes such violent attacks against doctors. And uh, even I think the way forward with respect to the violence against doctors can be to increase the patient-hospital linkages, where we can, where the security and the law enforcement agency is integrated at least some secondary or tertiary degree hospitals. And secondly,
ठीक है,
the violence
fine,
is
fine,
yes,
fine,
sir.
fine. You make a crisp answer out of it. So
Right.
let's say a doctor leaves a scissors inside the patient's tummy and he stitches it. So do you think that it's a perfect case of attempt to murder? We
Sir,
have had these instances, right?
right, sir. We do have those instances, but I don't think it can be considered as a attempt to murder, because attempt to murder comes from the intention behind the act of behind such acts. Here, doctor did not have any intention to kill a patient, as is already bound by Hippocratic oath.
Hippocratic oath.
Uh,
Hmm.
yes, sir. So I don't think it's an attempt to murder, but I would definitely consider it as an act of medical negligence.
So what punishment has been prescribed in the law for such doctors or negligent teams, surgeons?
Sir, I have to read about this particular act of crime, like how it is
Have you ever
punished.
heard that doctors also get some targets just as insurance agents for their surgeries in some high-fi hospitals?
Sir, even incidences where doctors have given certain targets at corporate hospitals. Uh, yeah, I do think it shows signs towards commodification of medicine or privatization of healthcare. It's an impact of privatization of healthcare. But on the other side, sir, there are many private hospitals like Narayana Hrudayalaya from Karnataka, which are also providing free heart surgeries or cardiac surgeries to various patients. So I think we do have both sides there.
Break the nexus between pharma companies and doctors. Is there a nexus?
Yes, sir, nexus does exist.
How to break
And
it?
I think, sir, I think we already have well-established guidelines to that. For example, Supreme Court came up with guideline where doctors are supposed to prescribe generic medicines in capital letters rather than going for a branded or proprietary medicines. That's
Hmm.
first one. If you can just prescribe the active component, active ingredient, or active medicine, I think we can rely the dependency of doctors on branded companies. And secondly, sir,
Prescribe the salt. Okay, so that is fine, but is it actually happening on the ground? I don't think so. So what steps would you take as the DM of a district or as the chief medical officer or whatever post you are given? So what steps would you take? When you know that actually the nexus has not been broken. Doctors even haven't improved their handwriting. They they
right, sir.
they, they have the poorest of handwriting. So how would you take it?
Sir, I think we can make it instead of I think we can bring a law which legally enforces such prescription, so that there is a scope for disciplinary action taken against doctors who are not going by the guidelines. And sir, I think increase medical medical ethics based education in our curriculum, sir. If we can integrate them, and if we can sensitize doctors to the needs of the patients and their vulnerabilities, I think uh, it can motivate doctors at individual level
So
to
wherever
go
such
by.
question regarding medical ethics is asked, you also say that, sir, patients also need to be made aware. And just as it is mandatory under the Sex Determination Act, or है ना, that they have to have a signboard that यहाँ पर or we do not determine the sex of the child, है ना, it is mandatory to have that card or the board there or the signboard there that you will not be. So we can have the same, that if the doctor does not prescribe you a generic medicine or does not tell you the salt of the medicine or does not tell you the exact medicine on paper or does not give you a printed receipt, then you may definitely contact this medical ombudsman or grievance
Right, sir.
redressal, and we can have that under every district commissioner or the CMO, chief medical officer of a particular state or a district. ठीक है. इस तरह से आप करेंगे. Okay. Did we talk about the violence against doctors?
Yes, sir.
We talked about it. Okay, let's come to cricket. So, what can other sports learn from BCCI? Hockey,
So the
football,
major,
mainstream
right,
sports. Yeah.
sir.
Hmm.
So the major learning from BCCI would be to how to adapt to the changing needs of the time. For example, cricket went through its phases from Test cricket to ODI to even T20,
Hmm.
and BCCI captured the opportunity in the T20 format and also came up with IPL-like leagues. So if other sports bodies can come up with such leagues, franchise-based league systems, which can catch the attention of the viewers, I think that would be a better that would lead to better publicizing public publicizing of that those sports. And secondly, sir, uh, the efficiency of BCCI with respect to the monetary aspects. Without much we don't see much interference of political or any of that sort in BCCI, sir. Whereas other sports bodies are uh, immersed with such nepotism or any such allegations.
So, you simply say, sir, what BCCI has done is it has given money to the players. It has made the players very rich, and then it has, invited so many big sponsors, so many big commercials, and that is helping the players. And
But
hence,
they had viewership. That's why they got the money, no, say in the first place. They had viewership.
see,
That's what they
it
got
is
them.
it is a this goes hand in hand, you say. Cricket once had these cups and it has idealized people like Kapil Dev, Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar. So cricket has had a colonial legacy also. No other
Right.
game impacted. But then you will say, sir, the other sports can also commercialize it so that it benefits the players. You say this. Players का benefit होगा तो अपने आप many people will throng to football, throng to hockey, and then their families will come, their friends will come, the telecast will happen, the broadcast will happen. See, India recently promoted that Pro Kabaddi League, and it was a huge success.
Yes, sir.
Kabaddi does not have a history or idols. Like, I don't even know who is the Kabaddi captain of India, men's or women's. But then when the commerce happened, so sometimes the game raises the bar of people. Sometimes people can also raise the bar of the game,
Right,
right?
sir.
So similarly, cricket may, or you make whatever stance you want, make a crisp answer of 3 steps. See, I'll give you my formula to clear the interview is, since you have a limited time in the interview, you want him to reach Vachna Sahitya, you want him to reach Vivekananda in your DAF. So if you will start saying the main answers in the beginning, what will happen? He will not be able to reach you. He'll not be able to
Right,
reach
sir.
every aspect of your personality. You want him to make you sit for at least 35 minutes for him to check every aspect of your life, not just medical science. Of course, you will be asked a lot from medical sciences. And my interview abhi tak has been based on medical sciences alone. And plus,
Right,
idhar
sir.
udhar ke do char questions. What I'm trying to say is, if you will stratify your answer into prioritize 3 points, okay, let's say how to deal with an aggressive China. First thing, sir, indigenous capabilities, defense and border. Second thing, sir, alliances with the like-minded countries, because we are only 3 trillion and China is 15 trillion. There's a huge power difference. We can't fight China alone. We need Japan, America, and like-minded countries like Quad, sir. Third, sir, cooperate where possible, confront where necessary. So in our next session, Sachin, what I will hear from you is very crisp and aligned answers. This was
Right,
obviously,
sir.
I forced this session upon you. You wanted to discuss DAF, but I also wanted to hear from you that how do you
Right,
speak.
sir.
So I don't have any issues in your personality. You are a perfect 195 plus person. Perfect. You're a perfect person, and you have a bright career behind you. And doctors are already very respected, even in UPSC. They'll definitely ask you why IAS, because you're already a doctor. And तो वो वाली चीज तुमने ठीक बोला. But otherwise, there is no harm, there is no wrong in you. So what we want is crisp answers from you the next time, है ना? And read about Ramakrishna mission, Vivekananda, what were his monks, what were the issues in Ramakrishna Paramahansa, या जो भी what were his prescriptions. What does he mean when he says service to man is service to God? What are the similarities of Ramakrishna mission? What are the issues with Hinduism, mainstream Hinduism? है ना, ये सारी चीजें. और why does Karnataka need a separate flag? ये सारे questions. And then I'll in my next interview I'm going to make you the DM of Belgavi. And then how will you tackle the situation on ground? I have not talked about language. I have not talked about delimitation. I have not talked about why was the Emir of Qatar in India? Why did Modi go to Kuwait? Why did he go to Mauritius recently? You know, what is the Indian Ocean Doctrine? That I have not touched yet. I have not, because in limited time I can't do much, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll have multiple sessions. I have tested you to the core and you were excellent. Your medical science is already sorted. थोड़ा सा brush up कर लेना basics को. And
Right,
what
sir.
your homework is now, your interviews, when is your interview, Sachin?
7th April, sir.
Okay, so we have a lot of time. Not lot, but still we do have time. So what you do is, Mr. Sachin, where have you done your current affairs from? You please manage a list of current affairs of the past 6 months. पिछले 6 महीने के करंट अफेयर्स को आप देखो. यू सी द प्रीवियस 6 years 6 months of current affairs. Don't need to read it, just read the topics from the index. If you make the index, then you'll have a list of issues which were there in news. And then same policy. Let's say one nation, one election. 3 positives, 3 negatives, way forward. Did we fail in Manipur? Yes, no, way forward. इस तरह से आप हर टॉपिक को यू प्रिपेयर ऑल द टॉपिक्स. आई हैव नॉट आस्क्ड यू अभी अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ओके, इज बेंगलुरु लिवेबल? 3 positives, yes sir, it is livable. People are living there, they are not dying. Challenges, yes sir, there are concerns. Traffic का concerns है, pollution का concerns है, water bodies are drying up, there is a lot of encroachment. And then the way forward. Delimitation, the issues with the southern states, 3 challenges, then the way forward. These things you have to prepare now. 3 language policy, 3 challenges, 3 positives, the way forward. So every topic last 6 months, I'm not asking you to prepare all the topics. Whatever topic relates to your Karnataka, let's say the flag issue or whatever, Belgam issue or whatever issue, and your district Haveri, jo bhi hai, related to the classical language. What is a classical language? How does Kannada qualify for one? What is a 3 language policy? NEP 2020, मेडिकल एजुकेशन, हर चीज पर जो भी न्यूज में आया है, whatever has come in news. जैसे the IIT Madras guy, that pseudoscience and gomutra. So yeah, Ministry of AYUSH is always in news. Preventive medicine, geriatric care, about the aging population. All these issues. See, I have also read the newspapers and the magazines. How will I know about these issues? And how
Right,
will the person who is interviewing you know this? He'll know it from the papers.
right, sir. But what is that you are saying as limitations in my way of speaking or in my way of answering, sir?
There is no limitation. See, let's say I am asking you something about India, China. So, India, China, you will not write a mains answer there. Directly hit upon the nail. If he's asking you the challenges between India and China, if you will expand a point too much, the whole answer, a small answer of India, China may take 5 minutes. Is that needed? No. You want him to ask you more questions. Only then will your interview be vibrant. You want him to reach the last page of your DAF, or you want
Right,
him to test you from wherever possible. Even if you say, no, that is a very good answer. I'm sorry, sir, I do not know about it. I'm sorry, sir, I'll read more about it. Or I beg to say, sir, that I'm not prepared, sir. I haven't been in touch. Very simple. तो ये
right,
सारी चीज, हाँ. But then there is no wrong in this. See, there is no wrong in your answers. Nothing wrong. I am just giving you a formula to reach from 180 to 190 more. Sachin, I would say that you are already there. You're already there. I don't know what you will score in your anthropology. And he may ask you one more question. Why anthropology? Why not medical sciences? So be prepared with that as well. You know that why did you not choose medical science? And you can be very clear. Sir, I saw the trends. Medical sciences were not getting good marks in optionals. And I heard from my seniors and I saw it in the analysis. that anthropology has a lot of students in the list. So sir, I chose it. There's no harm. It's not illegal.
Right.
Simple. है ना? Let me see your service preferences. Okay, you don't want to serve abroad. Why so?
Uh, Sir, I have I'm always seen myself to work in the ground level at the nation, in the country, rather than imagine myself working in anywhere other than India. And being follower of Swamiji, I also have that little inclination towards Indian culture and Indian way of life.
Perfect.
So,
And I also want to be near my family, sir. You can say this. There is no harm in saying this. Family, sir. My parents want me to serve here. I am the only son or whatever. Even if you're not the only son, you say this. And then, sir, I see myself as serving for India on the grassroots level. I would enjoy it more. And then, sir, definitely, sir, I have also an inclination towards Indian culture and Vivek. So, three crisp points again. इस तरह से आंसर करेंगे तो आपके आंसर और खूबसूरत हो जाएंगे. They'll be more, हाँ, they'll be better. Any other thing which you want to talk, Sachin?
sir, how do you tackle Belgam issue as a DM? If you are made a DM of
The
Belgam?
DM, see, first of all, sir, I would control the violence. Then, sir, I would also restrain the social media and the fake news and propaganda being spread because it is more of political than of cultural. Thirdly, sir, I would try to restore the connectivity. If the buses are not running, sir, I would talk to the leaders and let the buses run. Otherwise, sir, there are always private vehicles and there are trains. That's it, sir. In the longer run, sir, definitely, sir, I would talk to the community leaders. There should be deliberative democracy, sir. There should be a dialogue. And the people should be told that even if you speak Marathi in Karnataka, there is no such bar. And sir, the local communities there are always welcoming. It is only the language is being politicized for political propaganda. We need to talk, sir. I'll make the political parties sit there. And then, sir, there are so many mechanisms to resolve disputes. It is high time that the President of India can initiate with the Article 263 interstate councils. There are federal disputes related to the fiscal transfers, the delimitation, the language, the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, sir. So, sir, it is high time, sir. And sir, there are other mechanisms also for interstate cooperation, zonal council, chief ministers conference, governors conference, sir. Niti Aayog can rope in, sir. Cooperative federalism, sir. Deliberative democracy. These two are the way forward. Points. Think in points.
Okay.
है ना? ऐसा करो, मजा आएगा.